sanitizing and social distancing. All those have worked, and we're here today because of the efforts of all the folks involved and want us to have high school football in the state of Indiana.
So studies have shown that extracurricular activities is just such an important part of the growth, and it's part of the curriculum of being a student anymore. Talk a little bit about that.
We've learned a very big lesson. We participated in a study from the University of Wisconsin that showed how important extracurricular activities are to high school students. And it could be band, it could be drama, it could be theater, music, athletics, certainly is what we're dealing with. Kids need that socialization. They need the structure from adults. This is an opportunity for them to learn lessons that they normally can't get in the classroom setting. Not that algebra and biology and chemistry aren't important, they are. But there are other life lessons that can be learned on the playing field. And that's part of the reason that we're doing what we're doing. It's part of the reason that the coaches work so hard and parents allow their kids to play sports. It's for those extra lessons that they get in the educational setting. And we're pretty proud of what we've done. And again, being here today is evidence of the fact that we've had some success.
So now we're at the end of our fall season. We've had 7 fall state championships, which is incredible to think about in the kind of year that we've had.
Absolutely.
But talk a little bit about, there's been restrictions at every venue. Yes. That's no different this next weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium.
And it's further complicated by the fact that we're going to be inside. And once you go inside, those restrictions are really ramped up. As an example, every person attending next week will have to have their temperature checked. They're going to have to be asked questions about some symptoms that they've been have or have not had before they even admit it to the ticket window to give their ticket to get into the game. Same thing's going to be for the athletes getting off the bus. They're going to take the temperature. They're going to have signed a form that says that they're not been exhibiting signs or symptoms of disease. And then once we get in the venue, we're going to have to practice social distancing. We're going to have to wear a mask unless we're having concessions food. It's more precautions for us to provide for the health, safety, and well-being of our athletes. Now, it's going to look a little different. They're going to be pretty much spaced out, and if you've seen the Colts play at Lucas Oil, we'll look a lot like that. We won't be allowing bands for reasons that go along with the social distancing piece of it. We're going to limit the number of people on the field, and so we're going to do our very best to make sure that this state finals goes off without a hitch, given the parameters and the requirements of social distancing and the corona guidelines. But we're very, very pleased and excited to have 6 state championships next weekend on Friday and Saturday, and we're certainly looking forward to having everybody come in and have a great time.
And it all goes back to that. It's just incredible that we're even in the position to hold these 6 state championships next weekend. Assistant Commissioner Robert Falcons, thank you so much for joining us today, and we're going to send it back to you guys in the booth.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Being a man used to be simpler. You guard the cave, provide sustenance, honor thy name. A handshake sealed the deal. and a word was a promise. Today, things are a bit more complicated. We try to impress people we don't know by acquiring things we don't need. We have friends lists, but few real friendships. Things like integrity and kindness have fallen by the wayside. How can we know if we measure up when the scale is constantly changing? The Freemasons believe that a man's job is to be the best version of himself possible, to pursue truth and self-discovery, to give more and take less. We connect with our fellow man so that we may learn from each other, to challenge one another to live up to our highest ideals. We believe a man should be judged by his strength of character, his willingness to make sacrifices to improve both himself and the lives of those around him. For hundreds of years, the Freemasons have helped men find more meaning, to make connections with other men in a way that truly matters. For those seeking a deeper sense of purpose, a chance to make lasting friendships. To reach higher. To find more.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
In downtown Indianapolis, here at Thomas Carr Howe High School, where the Hornets used to play here inside of Thomas Carr Howe High School. But we have high school basketball on tap tonight between the Techies of Purdue Poly Inglewood playing host to Washington Indianapolis, Washington, the Continentals coming into this contest. With Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling, set for a good matchup here tonight as the Continentals coming into this contest. Joey looking to try and get back on track, even though they have won 2 of their last 3 games, coming off of a tough loss to Ben Davis just a few days ago, trying to get back to 500 here.
Yeah, whenever you come off a loss, you want to make sure that you're doing the right things that Coach taught you, right? And especially against a good squad like Ben Davis, it is not a true showing of who you are as a team. So they're going to bounce back, and they're going to do it in a big way. And on the other side, Purdue Poly is an excellent crew, and they are ready and poised to go for a big night.
Indeed they are here as the Continentals come into this contest under the tutelage of Aaron Hogg in his first year as the head coach of Washington. 4-5 to start the season. He's 6-7 overall, and it's an interesting way how he actually got into this gig here, Joey, is the fact that he used to coach at Manual High School. He actually coached the last 2 games of last season for Emmerich Manual in the postseason before he ended up coming over to Washington High School. Still has yet to really hit his stride, but nonetheless, he's actually been able to at least navigate this really tough season for the Continentals coming into this one.
Yeah, and it's been a hard year for everybody, but he's done a really incredible job of making sure that all his guys are ready. And it just goes to show you, like, the preparation that you have day in and day out will show up on the court no matter what. And regardless of how you prepare, it's going to show on the court on game day.
Indeed it is. On the other side, you have the Techies of Purdue Poly, 9-5 coming into this contest. A very good season for the team that so far in their career has not been affiliated with the IHSAA. Of course, they have been lobbying to hopefully be IHSAA and sectional eligible this time next year. But nonetheless, they're under second-year head coach David Teague, who is 22-11 so far in his career here at Purdue Poly. They are coming off of 3 straight wins over Switzerland County, Indianapolis Math and Science, and Indianapolis International.
Coach Teague gets his guys right. We talked about it in pregame, and I wanted to definitely touch on this, how we found out that he makes his guys do push-ups when they miss quote-unquote bunny layups. He's got guys who are basketball junkies, and it all starts with his core group, guys who love basketball, and that's why they've won 3 straight, and I can't wait for what we're going to see tonight.
Indeed, of course, they have already faced Indianapolis, Washington this season. In fact, that was the first meeting ever between these 2 schools. That was a loss to Washington, though, 77-66 back in the Greater Indianapolis Conference Tournament, which happened really early in the season this year. But nonetheless, it is now a regular season conference game between these 2 schools. Second time around, Purdue Poly, you get a sense of who you played earlier on this season, but now you have a better idea of what you're going up against going into this one.
Well, they struggled shooting the basketball in the first few games of the year. I mean, you open up with a tough schedule as well. Chris Vasadic's thrown in the mix and what have you, and they weren't really sure who they were as a team. After that, won a few games here and there, lost a couple in those spots. They've gotten so much better at shooting. They've gotten so much better at moving the ball, getting the ball in the low post, shooting from the elbow in spots that make sense for their offense, because they're not the biggest team, so they have to resort to things that are easier for them, like shooting the basketball. They've done an incredible job.
And on the other side, though, you mentioned the size factor there. There's a lot of size on this squad here for Indianapolis, Washington. Of course, you have players like James Holder standing 6'6", Isaac Liggins, also a 6'6" player. There's a lot of size for this team to work with.
And Tony Hearns as well, 6'7". All these guys, it's a matchup nightmare for most teams. And how Purdue Poly is going to get out of that and avoid that is by shooting the basketball, like I said. But on the Washington side, it's a huge advantage, and Coach Hogg is going to be able to use his guys use all their abilities to their advantage, and they can get buckets any way they want to.
Indeed, they can. The Continentals 4-5 on the year. The Purdue Poly Techies, they are 9-5 on the year, 2-0 in conference play. This is actually Washington's first conference game of the regular season here tonight. We'll go ahead and take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will get down to some more breakdown of tonight's contest. Don't go anywhere. You are watching IHSAA Basketball on Indiana SRN.
miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAFoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Hey, it's Keith Myers from Indiana Sports Radio Network. Well, thank you that you're watching the game tonight on Indiana SRN. If you would like to know more information about Indiana SRN, send me an email, coach@indianasrn.org. As vice president of this company, we hope that you sit back and enjoy the game. It's Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Did you miss the game everyone is talking about? Well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and never miss a game again, and get pregame notifications with that. Just go to youtube.com and search @Indiana SRN and click the red subscribe button. With Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling. We're getting set to be introduced to the starting lineups here for tonight's contest between the Purdue Polytechies and the Washington Continentals here from Indianapolis, Washington High School. You have an East versus West sort of atmosphere here. Of course, you have Purdue Poly Inglewood on the east side of Indianapolis along Washington Street, while you have Indianapolis, Washington along Washington Street on the other side of downtown Indianapolis, just on the west side of the outside of downtown area there in Indianapolis. But nonetheless, two teams now that have already played each other once this season, and they're about to do it again.
Yeah, both these squads are primed and ready to go, and they're going to try to shoot early. On the Poly side, you have to look at guys such as Jushawn Primus, who Coach Teague says is like a coach on the floor, and you can't think of a better asset to have on your squad, especially on the floor as well. You can also have somebody like Kevin Broadley, who has scored unbelievable amounts this year, leading the team with almost 17 points per game, number 23 there on your screen. And then it's going to be a fun matchup. On the Washington side, there's a lot of talent to be had. It's going to be great, Kurt. We can't wait. Let's go.
Indeed it is, as we have the Continentals coming into this contest, having only had 3 winning seasons since 2000, trying to really get back into the area where they can start to have more moderate success. This is a team that almost had a run to the state championship back in 1995. They fell to Ben Davis back in regionals there in the mid-90s, and now trying to rebuild the program here as we're underway here inside the old Howe High School, where Purdue Polytechnical calls home, and Washington getting things moving early here.
A lot of outside spread looks. This is what Washington's going to try to do against this zone.
Deep three ball on the way there from Hampton. Falls short, but the putback shot there from Johnson also doesn't go. And now the Techies have their first offensive possession. No look pass back outside. And Broadley shuffles his feet and turns the ball over.
Got to make sure your feet are set if you're going to try to shoot that right there. And Broadley knows he can get a shot pretty much anywhere. So he's just got to settle down. It's early in the game.
Some stingy full court defense there by the Techies and an early turnover there. And this is a team in Washington that does like to play fast when they can, and so it's, if anything, that's exactly what you want to see there if you're head coach Teague there early. Euro step inside.
What a block.
And a big block there. Primus couldn't get it to go, and the loose ball gets into the hands of Washington.
6'6" senior James Holder with that block.
But there's Hampton with the travel in transition. So each team exchanging a couple turnovers here as they have yet to get into the scorer's box. Under 7 minutes to go now. Matthews loses the handle, another turnover. In stride, pitch and catch back and forth underneath, and Aaron Hampton draws first blood here for the Continentals.
I like the pace. Each team is trying to go fast. It's fun.
Early foul here coming up on Washington. We'll see who they get the ball. I'm just going to say it was a violation along the baseline, so it's going to be Techie ball only briefly. And then it gets turned over right back again as Donovan Johnson stepped on the sideline. And so just quick back-to-back turnovers here. You're seeing a lot more turnovers rather than scoring early here. Long ball to Matthews. He loads up a three ball and he knocks that down.
Got it.
Kendall Matthews getting his first three of the contest. Back underneath. And a big travel there. Correction there, that's actually Michael Hobbs getting the three ball there. I had it on the other side of my spot chart there either way. Big shot there for Hobbs as the ball nearly gets tipped out of bounds again. Loose ball gets into the hands of Hampton, and he loses the handle on it. Coming in stride here is Bradley. He lays it in.
What a sequence. That was crazy.
He doesn't want to do any push-ups.
I guess not.
Making that layup there.
Don't be missing the bunny layups.
Another steal here. This time it is Broadley. Loses the handle. Gets it back briefly and then back into the hands of Hickenbottom. Underneath, dunk by Liggins and the foul.
Wow.
Everybody needs to catch their breath here, Joey. We are really ramped up here early on.
I think the boys are happy that they got that free throw. They're at the free throw line now. They could catch their breath. We get to see this again.
As we take a look at this big play here, Broadley coming in on him.
Liggins, the 6'6" senior, flushing it down.
And Liggins converts the old-fashioned three-point play. As it is now a 5-5 ball game. And now we have a carrying violation there on Hobbs. And another turnover. I've already lost count of turnovers, but we probably got to be approaching at least 10 combined by each team as we have a foul.
I got to imagine the Max Preps probably doesn't take in the time of possession clock, but it doesn't seem like a lot for each possession.
So he stepped out of bounds there, so it's a turnover back to Purdue Poly. Pulling up from the charity stripe there is Boyd. He can't get that to fall. Hobbs battling for the loose ball, and he's going to be fouled from behind there by Isaac Liggins.
It was a nice reach step by Hobbs to go around and try to get himself in a good position underneath the basket on the rebound. Liggins just had better defensive positioning on him.
Lawrence Boyd to inbound it, the 6'1 senior. He gets it to Broadley, splits the defenders, gets it to go, and draws the foul.
Strong into the basket. Kevin Broadley, nice.
And you're going to get, looks like James Holder here with the foul. His first and the second on Washington. Broadley at the line, shooting 52% this season is Broadley, and he nails that one for the old-fashioned three-point opportunity. And it's the first lead of the ball game here for Purdue Poly. Outside, loading up a three for Washington there is Johnson. He can't get that to fall. And there was a foul. They're going to get Broadley, it looks like, for getting a shove there on Holder. Now you're going to give it to Bradley, 25, getting his first foul. Shot doesn't go for Washington. Quick in transition, Euro step underneath. Bradley there for the putback. Nothing doing. Hobbs has it. Gets his own rebound again, kicks it back out. 3 on the way. Nothing doing there for Lawrence Boyd.
Another one.
Still a no-look pass to Broadley. Can't get that to go. It looks like Liggins may have gotten a finger on that. They are going to call goaltending, so the shot counts in 2 points for Kevin Broadley.
This is insane. This is crazy, crazy basketball. I love it. This is awesome. Very entertaining. I don't know if the coaches would agree with me.
Say with the amount of turnovers that have been committed, I think they might think otherwise here, as right to the rack there goes James Holder.
Way to use the glass by James Holder. It's so easy to go up there and try to just lay it into the basket, but way easier to use the backboard.
Keeping it a tight ball game here, as losing the handle on it is Boyd. Quick in transition comes Hickenbottom, lays it up, no good, but draws a foul. And they're going to get Jushan Primus on that one. Second foul of the quarter here for Purdue Poly. Let's take a look here at this last and one here for the Techies. Just right in there by Broadley, just splitting the defenders.
That's what he does. That's how he accumulates so many points, is because he just goes confidently and he just enjoys himself out there. It's fun to watch.
Primus knocks down the front end of his 2 shots.
Hickenbottom.
Correction, that is Hickenbottom. The foul was on Primus. And Hickenbottom misses the back end there. Getting the offensive rebound again is the Continentals. And nothing doing there. Here's Bradley in transition. He pulls up. Kind of an ill-advised pass there in traffic, and it's stolen away by Liggins.
Yeah, he was looking for Broadley as a trailer and at the top of the elbow, and he found him. He just didn't get it right in his mitts. He needed to do that.
Donovan Johnson around the defender, kicks it back out to Liggins, and the big man can't convert from deep along the baseline. Inside 4 minutes to play now. Hobbs up top, kicking it back outside. 3 on the way, knocking it down is Lawrence Boyd.
Good positioning by Boyd. He was in the perfect spot. And nice and far away, too.
Getting a finger on it there is Hobbs to pick his pocket. Behind the back pass to Lawrence Boyd. Underneath, completing it is Primus.
Hello.
What a play there. Give the assist there to Lawrence Boyd as a whistle is called along the sideline. It's going to be Continental basketball. We got to take another look at this.
He said, okay, I'll just go behind the back if I can't go in the front. Give me some of that.
Big shot there by Primus to get the big assist from Lawrence Boyd. 7-point advantage here for the Techies. And nice getting in with a teardrop floater on the way from Balance, and he cannot convert. Bradley thunders his way into the lane, kicking it back out. Boyd, another no-look pass outside to Bradley. He can't convert that. It's into the hands of Primus. He loads it up. Can't get that to go either.
Yeah, altogether on the year, 24% three-point shooters are Purdue Poly, and while they do shoot a lot, they haven't had as much success as from their big men. They need to get it out to their guards. Wow, voice crack. Wow.
Johnson can't convert there. Quick in transition comes Primus. They're going to get an offensive foul on Primus. The shot does not count. And that is now Jushan Primus's second foul of the half. And number 4 on Purdue. So another chance to kind of catch our breaths here as both teams are just really playing with a lot of pace here.
I love it personally. it's so fun. It's so much fun to watch these guys just be kind of in their element, just kind of play loose.
Purdue playing the full court press here. Balance kicks it back outside to Liggins. Jump hook on the way. Nothing there. Putback shot doesn't go for Holder. And we have a whistle and a violation here. It will be Washington basketball. Couple substitutions checking in now as we see Darian Balance, the brother of Travis Balance, checking in. Liggins loads up from the elbow. Nothing there. And Broadley comes away with the rebound. Long pass to Michael Hobbs, who takes advantage.
Right place, right time, Michael Hobbs, and a great pass by Broadley.
5 points now for Hobbs in this contest. A double dribble called, though, by Washington, and another turnover forced by the Techies.
The Techies are just all over Washington, wherever they are. They're going into that semi-full court press where they're not quite trapping in the backcourt, more in the front court, and it's working really well.
Largest lead of the night here for the Techies at 9 points. Holding it now is Darian Reynolds at the elbow, has to do something with it, loses the handle. And also losing the handle in transition is Darian Balance, but there's a foul coming up on the Techies, so that will be against Michael Hobbs, his first and the team's fifth. Inside a minute and a half to go here, the long inbound to Balance. Through the lane, trying to dump it off there to Holder, nothing doing. Hobbs can't get it either, comes up with it though. Underneath into the lane, and slightly getting a finger on it there was Liggins. And in transition, Euro step. Finally gets the rattle to go there, Johnson.
What a move. I can't do that.
Johnson's first 2 points of the night as we tick down inside 60 seconds. Broadley on the elbow. Around the defender, puts it up. Another block down low, this time by Johnson, and it goes out of bounds. It stays with Purdue Poly. Taking a look here at this block here by Liggins, just getting a finger on it.
He has some reach, man. Stands 6 feet, 6 inches tall.
And Johnson,
I bet his wingspan's even longer.
And Johnson finishes it there as out of the inbound. The shot doesn't go there for the Techies. And now Washington likely going to try and hold for the last shot here. No, not for Liggins, though. He loads it up. Can't get that to fall. Put back block from behind from Holder. And you're going to get an over-the-back foul coming up on Lawrence Boyd, his first.
I love what the Techies are doing offensively when a shot goes up. Their offensive rebounding, at least their attitude about it, is go get the ball, go get the ball. On the defensive side, though, I see no one boxing out.
Holder at the line for the first time tonight. It's now a 7-point ball game. The largest lead has been 9 as Holder misses the front end. So now we see a little bit of size coming in here as you see Anjay Ganeshalal seeing his first action tonight. The self-described loud player. He says he chooses to be loud. And, of course, that is also confirmed by David Teague. You like to see that kind of leadership.
He said, you could either choose to be quiet or loud. I choose to be loud. I love that as a loud person.
Both free throws missed there by James Holder, so now Purdue has a chance for a final shot, at least briefly. It gets sails out of bounds there, looking for Boyd underneath, and now Washington again with another chance to cut into this lead with inside 20 seconds.
Let's see what they do here. You got to penetrate the trap somehow, as they do.
Floater on the way, goes there for Hickenbottom inside 10 seconds. Long pass to Ganeshalal. And now over to Reynolds, and the shot clock winds down. And with that, we take a 5-point deficit for Washington behind Purdue Poly into the second quarter. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Indiana SRN. Get updated scores, game day schedules, and much more. Just go into twitter.com and follow us at Indiana SRN. With Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling. So far, a 5-point advantage for the Techies as we go to quarter number 2. And Purdue has really been able to put a lot of pressure on Washington, and they've been able to take advantage of that. As you see, Broadley, right to the rack he goes and draws a foul. So you're going to get Darian Balance with that foul, his first. Only the team's third of the half, so Washington has been able to be pretty sound when it comes to the fouling game as of late. And Broadley misses the front end.
Broadley, a 52% free throw shooter. And statistically, this one's bound to go in.
Statistically.
I've been wrong before.
50-50 shot there, right there, as he goes 0 for 2 on that trip. But Broadley is a player that averages 16 points a contest. On the other side, Darian Balance, he can't handle it. It's a traveling violation in the paint.
I like the look. He had it at the top of the key, or top of the paint, excuse me, and he takes almost a drop step, one too many, because then he has to go towards the basket. He could probably just shoot right there.
Long pass to Broadley, loses the handle, and what do we get here? It's a jump ball, and the arrow favors Washington. Erie Hickenbottom now with it. And we see Frederick Jackson, the sophomore, getting his first action of the night. Outside, Hickenbottom for a long three.
Ooh,
Rems in and out. Quick in transition here comes Reynolds, and he loses the handle on it. And Jackson comes away with it, and a foul coming up the court here on Purdue Poly. And they're going to get Hobbs. So that's Hobbs' second, 7th on Purdue Poly. So now we are shooting free throws from here on out for Washington. As you see Travis Balance at the foul stripe for the first time tonight. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Hickenbottom steaming down the floor. Can't get that shot to go. Hickenbottom steaming himself down, and he can't get that to go either. And along the baseline there, somebody stepped out. In fact, it was Washington, so it'll be Purdue basketball.
Washington now playing that full court press, giving Purdue a little bit of trouble.
This was something that the Techies were able to masterfully execute in the first quarter, as you get a tripping foul here coming up on Washington. I believe that was Travis Balance getting the foul. Reynolds calling for some help from Ganesh Shalal. He has a lane into the paint. Blocked shot there by Liggins. He now has 3 blocks tonight. And now it's going to go back the other way here as it goes out of bounds from Washington.
A lot of interesting sequences this game.
It just seems both teams are playing with a lot of urgency, and they're not. But sometimes it feels like that urgency hasn't been able to really be transitioned into some actual meaningful offense.
You need to be able to translate that into points, and if you can't do that in transition, then try to slow down. And if you can't do it while you're slowing down, then continue to play the transition game. Sometimes it's just not your night shooting the ball, but it doesn't have to mean it's everybody's night to not shoot the ball well. So you just got to keep trying to figure out what's the right recipe for success on that particular night.
Each team has over 5 turnovers in this contest so far. Balance back over to Jackson. Stingy defense here from Michael Hobbs into the corner. Liggins back under to Jackson. Loose ball controlled there by Reynolds. Ganesh Shalal, long pass, a little too hot there for Hobbs. It goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Hobbs was ready. A little bit inaccurate because he tried to chuck it with one hand. He probably could have gotten it there with two. Maybe a little more guided and accurate pass. There'll be another one like that.
But now Washington continuing to get a lot of opportunities as Jack Johnson's able to keep his dribble going along the sideline, but it's blocked there by Broadley on his shot. Hobbs, Euro step inside, can't get the ball to go, but right there for the cleanup is Ganesh Shalal.
That's the type of player he is. He's always right place, right time, especially on the putbacks.
6 different players have now scored for the Techies as Washington trying to get a handle on this possession. Teardrop does not go for balance. Out of bounds the ball goes, and back to the Techies. So we've gone now 2.5 minutes into this quarter. And that bucket by Purdue Poly on the other end was the first bucket by either team.
Certainly a slower pace, I would say.
Scoring-wise, yes.
Yep.
On the floor, that's a totally different ball game here as you see Ganesh Shalal go really hot down the court, trying to kick it back underneath, and the jump ball is called. The arrow favoring Washington once again.
Ganesh Shalal made a really good pass, a nice, precise bounce pass, but Donovan Johnson saw it before I think Ganesh Shalal did, and he got his hand in there.
Long three here from Ganesh Shalal, and he knocks that down. He has 5 points on the night. He's averaging 5 a contest. And there's another turnover forced by Ganesh Shalal, who has really come on strong here off the bench. Not a regular starter is Ganesh Shalal, but his season high is 14 points. That was against Eminence back on December 5th. And he will now be taking it out. Off a screen there from Broadley and Hobbs, and they're going to get...
Oh, get him on a carry?
They're going to get a carry there, and that's
wow.
the second time that he's committed a carrying violation tonight.
You don't usually see many carry calls. These refs are very strict.
Strict but consistent, which is what you like to see in a good officiating crew. Of course, the IHSAA always doing an excellent job of getting good officials for these games, as you see a quick sequence there from Purdue, and it goes out of bounds. Again, you're seeing a lot of these possessions here tonight going a little too quickly. You're not really seeing a whole lot of actually setting up of an offense.
Yeah, they're trying to. Sometimes they're trying to do too much. Sometimes they're doing too little. It's all about right place, right time.
And right place, right time there for Frederick Jackson.
Right.
His first 2 points of the night. So for Derek Jackson right there getting his first 2 points on the other end as Ganesh Shalal gets blocked away, but going to be drawing a foul there. It looks like it may have been Holder. And indeed that is who the foul is against. His second. 5th on Washington this half. Ganesh Shalal at the line. He's a player shooting 48% from the foul stripe this season as he clanks that off the back of the iron. This is a team that does struggle shooting the ball, as you mentioned earlier there, Joey. They're shooting 54% from the foul stripe, but 24% from behind the arc. But yet they've been able to actually be pretty deadly from behind the arc here today.
So far they have. The percentage doesn't light any fire under you to be like, oh, let's shoot a lot, but it works.
Put-back shot there by James Holder off of the foul that he committed on the other side. He now has 4 points. No-look pass outside to Bradley. And now Ganesh Shalal up top gets a screen from Broadley. Euro step inside by Ganesh Shalal.
He plays so confidently. I mean, he goes to the basket with reckless abandon. I love it.
He seems to be loud in verbal skills and loud in play as well.
Yeah. Defensively, too, he communicates well, you can tell.
Euro step inside there off of the teardrop from Johnson. That doesn't go. Loose ball underneath, laying it up, and laying it in there is Davion Reynolds. And Purdue Poly now has their largest lead of the ball game at 10 points.
These guys don't want to do push-ups.
They certainly are making him there as a tie-up gives the ball back to the Techies yet again.
Coach Teague's not messing around with these bunny layups. You better make those.
So it looks like it is going to be Washington's ball here. They call a violation, so it is still the Continental's ball. Corner three loaded up there by Hampton. And again, they cannot get it to go. They've missed their last 5 3-point attempts as Ganeshalal tries to get the shot and the foul to go. He does not go there, but he goes to the line for 2.
I thought he was making that one too. Ganeshalal, a 48% free throw shooter. Most of the team, their best shooter being number 2, Zach.
That would be Lalenzuala.
Yep, thank you. Lalenzuala. Oh, God, I don't want to butcher his name. I'm sorry, Zach. Anyway, 78% free throw shooter is Zach, number 2.
Lalenzuala, 70%, 5.5 points a contest. Have yet to see him in action tonight. As Ganeshalal finally able to knock down a free throw, he's 1 for 4. An 11-point ball game, largest lead of the game now for Poly. Three minutes to go in the half. Along the baseline floater, a long one on the way from Hampton. Doesn't go. Offensive rebound by Liggins. Can't get the putback twice. Somehow into the hands of Holder. Spin move. Puts it up again. Doesn't go again. There is a lid on the basket for George Washington. They have not been able to score the last 3 minutes. Broadley splits the defenders. Lays it off the glass. 7 points now for Kevin Broadley as a timeout called by George Washington. We'll take a timeout with them. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
Cold is just around the corner, and here at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling,
we're ready for anything.
we care about our craft like we care about our customers. Our technicians are fully certified
And up to speed on the latest equipment.
available 24/7. We don't leave anybody in the cold. That's our top priority.
We don't just work for the company.
We are the company.
So we do the best we can for every one of our customers.
Trust the name you know at Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling.
Summers Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We take pride in your comfort. Just call Summers. Summers.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Right back to the action here between George Washington and Purdue Poly. Inside 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. A 13-point advantage for Purdue Poly as right to the rack goes for Derek Jackson.
A nice inside move and using the backboard well for Derek Jackson.
And a traveling violation by Purdue on the other side. So George Washington given a couple opportunities here, but good thing is there for George Washington, they were finally able to get a shot to fall there, one that they really, really needed.
They needed it. Yes, they needed it really bad. Because that builds your confidence. Little shots like that go in. You can accumulate a lot of those, and then the big shots come easy.
Good play down low. Can't get the shot again to fall. This time it's balanced. Ganeshalal like a freight train right to the rack. Can't get that one to go either. Jackson gets blocked there by Boyd. It's tipped out of bounds. It stays with the Continentals. Inside 2 minutes to go. Jackson leaving it for Hampton. Kicking it back out to Balance. Driving right on Bradley. Balance can't get the shot to fall. in the corner for Derek Jackson. Hits a big three.
That was 6 passes until they took a shot. What a beautiful possession that was. That's exactly what Coach Hogg expresses to his guys. He says, I need you to go use that ball movement to your advantage. Eventually somebody's going to be out of position, and we'll get open, and we'll get to see it again here. Look, a beautiful – he set up for the shot so he could get Ganesh Lal to bite on it, and he passes out for Derek Jackson. Beautiful shot as well.
For Derek Jackson now with 7 points in this quarter alone, but a foul committed on the other end by Aaron Hampton. Puts Ganesh Lal here in the double bonus on the next foul. A 1-and-1 opportunity here for Ganesh Lal, and he knocks it down. So Ganesh Lal with the most free throw trips of any other player in the game so far today. He's been here 3 times and has made 2 foul shots, now has made 3. Back to a 10-point advantage for Purdue. Swift pass down low to Balance. Liggins tries to get it over the back. Nothing there. Balance gets the cleanup shot.
It's hard when you're down on the low post to try to make an awkward shot like that. So he probably, if he had it back, he'd probably go back outside.
Big turnover. Balance right to the rack again. Can't get the shot to go, but draws the foul on Tyron Bradley.
Yeah, and he recovered in that last shot, and then a big turnover to convert into possible points. Huge momentum swings for your team when you can convert those opportunities.
And so there's a 30-second timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here on Indiana SRN. Did your grandma miss the game? Well, subscribe to our YouTube channel and catch every game and watch it on demand at Indiana SRN on YouTube.com. Also a big shout out here. It's the 51st year of publication for Hoosier Basketball Magazine. Check out this year's magazine covering the whole state and the teams that we love. Follow Hoosier Basketball Magazine on Twitter at Hoosier Basketball, HHB Magazine at HHB Magazine. $18 per copy on HoosierBasketballMagazine.com.
By the way, if you're not following us on Twitter, at Indiana SRN, we are a great account. We love putting kids first, and if you would like to do that as well, throw us a shout, give us a follow. And not to mention on YouTube, we're looking for our 1250th subscriber, which you could actually win a gift card if you are that number subscriber to Aspen Creek Grill and Fishers.
Fine dining establishment there, as you see Darian Balance nail the first of 2 foul shots, and he knocks down the second one as well. He now has a quick 4 points here late in this second quarter, as right down low there goes Bradley to draw the and 1 foul.
Great patience by Bradley. He knew he was going to get hit in the back probably by Balance, so excellent patience to take another dribble and go up and get the foul.
Tyron Bradley has mostly been held in check so far tonight, as he brings a lot of size. Definitely not held in check here off the mismatch over Balance.
Yeah, Balance thought he was going to shoot immediately. Bradley takes another dribble, resets, takes a good shot.
Tyron Bradley, a 6'3" senior player for the Techies, gets that and 1 opportunity to just rattle home. Still a 9-point advantage for the Techies. Around the horn, outside now to Johnson. And his pass is picked off there. Quick in transition comes Primus. No shot there. Bradley there for the cleanup.
These guys seem to know exactly where their next pass is if they're not already going to take the shot, because they're so quick about it.
Long 3. What a shot there for GW.
Splish splash.
But Bradley not going quietly here towards halftime as the ball gets tipped out of bounds here. Let's take a look at that again. Just this big, long 3 here put up by Aaron Hampton.
That was wonderful confidence by Hampton.
And that is now cut it to an 8-point ball game. That's the closest that we've been since early in the second quarter rather, as Broadley, dribbling right in on the defender, loses the handle on the ball. It goes out of bounds, and that will take us to halftime. Well, it was as much as a 13-point advantage for Purdue Poly earlier in the quarter, but GW able to rally a little bit there late in the half to at least close it to an 8-point ball game.
Yeah, I think it's because they came together as a team a little bit more, and Coach Hawk got these guys together and said, look, we have to take smart shots. We don't have to take the first shot. And we saw great glimpses of greatness with that 6-pass possession to an open 3. I bet we'll see more of that in the second half.
But, of course, a lot of what we saw in the first half there was that you just saw really, really fast-played basketball and not a whole lot of organization on offense.
Both sides, yeah. Purdue Poly, to their credit, they know exactly where the next pass has to go in order for them to get a shot. And when they get a turnover, they have absolutely every idea of like, oh, I can go here, I can go there, I can just take it to the rack. Working for him.
Indeed it is. We'll go ahead and take it to halftime. When we come back, second half action between Purdue Poly and Indianapolis, Washington. You're watching IPSathletics.tv, powered by Indiana SRN.
Your home and office make up a big part of your world. Sometimes trying to manage it all on your own can make you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, you need a strong back or two to come to your rescue and haul your stress away. You need the College Hunks. Whether it's time to clear some space for new memories, to reinvent the room around you, or to simply pack up and move into a fresh new beginning, you can count on the Hunks to bear your burden so you don't have to. Let us move you today.
In this seat, the pressure is high. And for this season, this is your seat. The National Federation of State High School Associations would like to thank you for supporting your child in learning positive, lifelong lessons by participating in interscholastic activities. As a parent, there are many feelings and emotions that you will experience during your student's participation in interscholastic activities. While watching your student participate, you can experience the entire emotional spectrum, from sheer joy to utter disappointment. At the same time, for students who are motivated to be part of a team, it can be an enjoyable and rewarding experience for everyone. Sitting in the parent seat requires thought and discipline. It is not an easy seat. The parent seat is a place where you and your student want to create enjoyable memories, not experiences filled with inappropriate language or unsporting behavior. The one who suffers most from these experiences is your child. Negative parent behaviors can be embarrassing to your student and damaging to your relationship as their biggest fan. This is the last thing you want. Here are 10 suggestions to help you with the emotions that arise in the parent seat. 1. Develop an awareness. Recognizing that you may be part of the problem in the stands is the first step to addressing it. This in itself can be challenging, as typically you are the last one to know if you are part of the problem. 2. Understand the benefits. Recognize the benefits that participation in interscholastic activities provides your student. Interscholastic activities provide a platform that promotes fitness, the opportunity to be part of a team and community, can improve your students' confidence, and provides an opportunity to learn new skills and improve current skills. 3. Embrace the growth and development of your student. By participating in activities, your student will have many opportunities to learn life lessons that will help him or her as they transition into adulthood. Taking a hands-off approach at times can be difficult for parents, but also rewarding for both the student and the parent. It can allow the student to gain confidence and independence to deal with their own obstacles. And many times, this independence can be one of the most important challenges to strengthening trust in your relationship. Knowing that your student is struggling can bring some comfort because it is evidence that your student is on a path to adulthood. 4. Visualize yourself as a respectful spectator. Many studies indicate that the number one reason kids participate in sports and activities is to have fun. Please keep that top of mind and in perspective throughout the school year. Emphasize to your student that they should enjoy the experience and, above all, have fun. Understanding and communicating this perspective can provide balance and support when it is needed the most and ensure a fun and enjoyable interscholastic experience for your child. 5. Consider exercising before the event. Exercising doesn't necessarily mean a 60-minute workout. A short walk, deep breathing, or a few stretching exercises may be helpful to relieve stress. It is also a proven fact that exercise can release endorphins that help you deal with stress. 6. Participate in a relaxing activity. Find something that you enjoy doing, such as reading a book or listening to music before the event. Relaxing before a game, competition, or other event may help provide a positive state of mind as you prepare to watch your child participate in their activity. 7. Take a break. If your emotions begin to escalate while in the stands, a brief timeout may help you reset your emotions. It could be as simple as taking a restroom break, a trip to the concession stand, or a short walk. 8. The 24-hour rule. If you ever feel compelled to confront a coach, take some time to collect your thoughts and allow your emotions to settle before you do. If after 24 hours you still feel compelled to address an issue, call and schedule an appointment. 9. Be responsible. Be responsible in your decision making. You are a role model, and it is important to understand that not only is your child watching you, but so are other participating students. Be aware and set a good example for all of the young people in attendance. 10. Support your student. There are a lot of ways to let your student know that you are a supportive parent. Tell them that you love watching them participate, or how proud you are of the sacrifices they make to be part of a team. Once again, focus on the fun. Be a good listener when your student needs you. Supporting them and understanding their feelings, hopes, and dreams can help you build on your trusting and loving relationship. Be aware that you will experience many emotions while sitting in the parent seat. Realizing there are challenges that come with the territory is an important step in supporting your students' participation in interscholastic activities. Students learn so much from their experiences that only activities can uniquely provide. You want your student to enjoy being part of a team and community without having to worry about what you may say or do in the stands. When your student looks back on their high school experience, what do you want them to remember? The experience should be enjoyable for you, beneficial for your student, and hopefully provides an opportunity to build a closer bond with your child. That opportunity begins now in the parent seat.
Indiana SRN is very excited to be a part of the success of this team as we prepare for the next school year. We humbly ask you to consider supporting us. Every donation, big or small, gets us one step closer to putting another kid on TV for grandma who lives out of state, or for viewing parties in Texas, or even our troops in the Middle East, all who watch our streams. To help us, simply go to our website at indianasrn.org and hit our donate button. It's just that easy. Thank you for supporting us, Indiana SRN, where you're always in the game. With Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling. Purdue Poly in Inglewood having a slim but still very comfortable lead over at George Washington High School out of Indianapolis. And right now you're going to the second half thinking what will be changing up or what will be staying the same, because we saw pretty much the whole smorgasbord of basketball thrown at us in that first half.
Yeah, we did. There was a lot to dissect. I think on the Purdue Poly side, I would say keep going. What works for them is the transition game. We said at the beginning that they were going to shoot the ball and shoot the ball well. They've shot the ball pretty well. They shot the ball pretty well in the first quarter. Second quarter, not so well. 24% from three-point land coming into this game. They've had a few guys shoot the ball well from beyond the arc, but ultimately what's worked is their transition game. They know exactly where to go with the basketball. And then on the Washington side, it's sort of a mixed bag because you have the transition game, but they've committed a lot of turnovers. And then you have the 3-point game, but they're missing most of their 3 points unless they are getting 3 to 4 passes before their shot. So I don't think there's anything wrong with taking it slow and getting the best shot possible versus just trying to get shots up. So I'm looking for both those squads to improve the way that they're approaching their pace because I think they both have to go a different pace. And once they control that pace, the other team has to play into their favor. So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
And, of course, controlling that pace would also, in turn, help them control the ball as well because you saw a whole lot of turnovers committed by both sides in that first half.
It was borderline ridiculous because we were just watching the ball go back and forth and back and forth. You just wanted one team to have a possession, and finally in the second quarter it got cleaned up.
Leading scorer in that first half by either team was Anjay Ganashalal, who came off of the bench with 10 points. He's also 3 of 6 from the charity stripe. You also have Tyron Bradley and Kevin Broadley, each with 7 points for Purdue Polytechnic, as we see a turnover right off of the inbound for Washington. Broadley runs right into his own player. Quick in transition comes Hobbs and draws the foul. So, like we said right there, I was in the middle of giving a quick stat update there, Joey, and we see both teams hit the ground running like they did in the first half.
It started with the inbound pass. Hobbs wasn't looking, and he tries to get the inbound, and then they turn it over, and then they get it right back, and now here he is. It's just kind of the game we've had.
Hobbs with his first trip to the charity stripe here tonight. He rattles off of the iron there for his first one. You had Frederick Jackson leading all scorers for Washington in that first half, all 7 of his points coming in the second quarter. Hobbs knocking down the second foul shot. He now has 6 points. And another turnover. It's tipped out of bounds. They're going to say it stays with Washington. Waiting on the inbound, hits Jackson. And along the baseline, right underneath Liggins, gets it to go. Hobbs well defended there by Balance along the baseline. Broadley has a little bit of an avenue but dribbles off of his foot. They're going to call a kick ball and a turnover back to Washington.
The Techies were so spread out in that possession. And they had Broadley just drive to the hoop, which is fine, but you want to have an outlet pass. They were all beyond the arc near the volleyball lines.
Now the officials are conversing here at center court to discuss something. And it appears it is going to be, looks like it might be Purdue basketball. And indeed it is. They're going to say it was dribbled off of the Washington player's foot as opposed to Purdue's own foot. So it's Purdue basketball here as Hobbs takes the inbound. Off the screen from Broadley. Kicking it back to Broadley. He can't handle it. And Hobbs takes it right back. Around the defender goes Primus. Jackson comes away with the rebound. Balance along the baseline. Back outside, 3 on the way. Hickenbottom just a little strong.
It's the right look. He could have gone to Liggins again.
Primus. Can't get that to go. Long three again from Hampton. He had one earlier in the half, tried to do it again, and that is going to be a blocking foul called on Balance, as Primus was coming hot in transition. So you're going to get Balance with his second foul. That's the first of the half, or second of the half, rather, by George Washington. And again, the Techies struggling at the foul stripe. They have now missed 7 free throws on the night. And Primus knocks down the back end. So he'll take a seat for the time being, as we see Lawrence Boyd check back into the ball game, along with Ganesh Shalal. And he forces a mishandle there by Balance. It goes out of bounds. Ganesh Shalal has just really been a very versatile player tonight. He's been good on defense. He's been able to score. Just basically the consummate sixth man that you like to see for David Teague.
He's been very, very reliable, and I think Coach Teague likes having him out there because, like we said, he's a loud player, and that transcends in a lot of different ways.
Free ball doesn't go there for Hobbs, and wide open underneath is Travis Balance.
Good job by Balance to not get bogged down by who was behind him and just go finish.
Back to a 6-point ball game and a traveling violation by Ganesh Shalal in transition. And so now Washington has a chance to cut it to the closest deficit that it's been since early in the second quarter. And Hobbs commits a foul there, going for the steal. That's now 3 on Michael Hobbs, and the first of the half for Purdue. Balance has to get rid of the ball. Outside, 3 on the way, nothing there for Donovan Johnson. Bradley underneath to Hobbs. Kick backs outside to Boyd for 3. And Hobbs looked like he took an elbow to the face there from Jackson. Long pass into the hands of Balance, and he misses the layup. Ganesh Shalal into the lane. Gets it to go. Ganesh Shalal is having himself a game tonight.
Everything he touches turns to gold.
12 points now for Ganesh Shalal. His season high is 14 points. Right back on the other end, though, goes for Derek Jackson, and he has 9.
Great response. The back and forth is awesome. That's what I love. Each of these paces, though, they're kind of slow. Washington is slowing down. Purdue Poly slowing down a little bit.
Broadley tries to spin on Liggins, and Liggins will pick up another foul. That's now 2 on Isaac Liggins, who, against all odds, has been able to do a pretty good job here on Kevin Broadley tonight. Of course, Broadley, one of those players that averages around 16 points a contest. And Broadley has been held to 7 so far and scoreless in this second half for the time being, as we have a stoppage in play.
I think his length really helps him because Broadley is just 6'3" compared to Liggins 6'6". So that extra reach will help you on defense.
So they have to tape up Broadley's arm here. Of course, you cannot play if you're bleeding, so you got to get it all taped up and keep things going. So Broadley now at the foul stripe. For the second, or rather the third time tonight, he has made 1 of 3.
On his shooting hand, I wonder if that affects the way his dexterity is going. I don't know. The texture of the ball against the tape. You want to be able to feel the whole thing. See how that affects him later on.
And he misses both of the free throws right there, so one can only wonder. He's now 1 for 5. As a loose ball stolen down low by Boyd. And they're going to say somebody stepped along the sideline there, so it is going to be George Washington basketball.
Did they get a timeout?
And it looks like a timeout may have been called. So it's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here on Indiana SRN. And, of course, never miss a game on Indiana SRN by making sure you go and like and subscribe our YouTube page. Just go to youtube.com and click the subscribe button. Get notifications about upcoming events as well. Just go to YouTube and then search Indiana SRN. Of course, keep in mind we're also going to have coverage of the girls and boys Indianapolis City Tournament coming up here in just next week or so. You're going to have the girls getting things going on January 11th. The boys tournament will get going on January 19th. Of course, Purdue Purdue Poly, the 7th seed this year. And as you have George Washington, the 13th seed in the city tournament.
Nice pass.
Underneath Broadley. Nothing there. Offensive rebound by Bradley. Outside, Boyd sets his feet, and he probably should have shot the ball because he shuffled him a little too much and gets called for the travel.
When you try to shot fake, you have to make sure that your feet are set. You had the right idea. Take a step to the left and shoot it, young fella, but Trout, one too many steps, Kurt.
Still a 6-point advantage for Purdue. And a whistle. And a stoppage in play. It stays GW basketball. Hickenbottom brings it back across midcourt. Long 3 ball in the corner. Knocking it down is Donovan Johnson. His first 3 ball of the night.
Those are the types of plays that Coach Hogg wants to see.
He's going to try and answer, does Ganesh Shalal, and that's off of the back of the iron. A loose ball gets into the hands of Boyd. He loads up a 3. That doesn't go. Ganesh Shalal gets to the offensive rebound, but it's stolen by GW as Johnson comes quick in stride. Can't get the shot to fall. And here come the Techies yet again.
He's got to finish that with his left hand. He tried to contort his body to get the right up. Didn't work out.
And a blocking foul coming up on GW. And they're going to get Tyron Bradley. It's a foul on GW here, so it's now a 3-point ball game. Spin around jump shot by Bradley.
I like it.
Broadley can't come away with the offensive rebound. Long pass does not get into Jackson. And Purdue at least avoids a game-tying possession there by GW. Bradley behind the back to Hobbs, who didn't quite expect it, and he gets called for traveling there as he was trying to gather the ball.
Got to have full possession before you take those steps. Close game. This is fun.
Approaching the 3-minute mark here as the clock starts to wind in the third quarter. And Washington has been able to just slowly but surely claw their way back after being down by as much as 13 points in the first half. And a traveling violation again by Washington.
Take that travel for what it was worth, but they're finding different ways to penetrate that zone of the Techies. That is a huge, huge momentum shift if you can figure out what your other team's doing.
Hobbs can't get the 3 ball to fall, but right there for the putback and cleanup is Kevin Broadley. He now has 9 points on the night.
Nice cleanup by Broadley. He always seems to be in the right place at the right time. He hasn't had the most wonderful night shooting the ball, but he's at least getting in the right position.
No look pass to Jackson underneath, spinning off of Broadley, and Jackson can't get the easy layup to fall. Bradley into the lane, kicking it back out, but we've got a foul coming up, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Tyron Bradley, his third.
Johnson did a great job of standing his ground and taking that charge.
And Coach Aaron Hogg telling his team to be patient here. Johnson, wide open underneath is Liggins.
Find those spots in the zone and exploit them. That's what Liggins is doing right now.
Back to a 3-point ball game. Ganesh Shalal, step back, 3, nothing there. Bradley gets the rebound, hits Hobbs, gets the shot to fall. They're going to count it, and he draws the foul. And Purdue definitely showing a lot of resilience here in spite of the fact that Washington is doing all they can to claw their way back into this one. Let's take a look at this one yet again.
Yeah, way to be strong going to the hoop. That's how you earn those and one opportunities, is by confidently going to the basket.
Both coaches in tonight's contest are former Division I basketball players. You have David Teague, who was an all-Big Ten player at Purdue in his own right, but then you had Aaron Hogg, who was also a big player at Wichita State in his day. Michael Hobbs knocks down both. Old-fashioned three-point play. Into the lane. Floater doesn't go for Hampton.
Oh, I thought it might be an over back.
Across the timeline and very close to an over and back call, but Primus is able to get it across cleanly. Tipped up steal there by Liggins. And Liggins able to use that long length of his to get the steal. Hampton tries to load up another long three. He's 1 for 3 in that regard tonight. Boyd, uncontested, can't get the dunk to go. Primus doesn't get the follow-up to go. And a wasted possession there by the Techies.
Sometimes the dunk isn't the best option.
Liggins, that three ball is short from the corner. Loose ball on the ground. Primus gets it and calls a timeout.
Good. I think it's good to reset. Take this timeout and get together.
A much-needed timeout. And we'll take a timeout with them. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Once again, check out our YouTube channel and get more than 700 archived games on demand. If you missed any of the games that you may have wanted to watch today, just subscribe today at Indiana SRN on YouTube.com. With Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling. We're inside of a minute here, and we were talking a little bit about this during the break there, Joey, just that this game has, you've seen these teams play so quickly that you've actually seen the game extended because of how many turnovers there have been and how many fouls that have been committed, as we've seen right here.
It's crazy because we're used to games going by faster when teams play faster. But, yes, to your point, they're turning the ball over so much. And every time that happens, the clock stops. Every time there's a foul, the clock stops. Inbound passes, and it's extending the game just like this.
As you see, a turnover on the inbound, and Jushan Primus is able to lay it in. And, of course, we were also talking, though, it's just like even though it's clunky like that, it makes it really hard for either team to get into a rhythm in spite of the amount of scoring we're seeing.
Yeah, good point. There's so much to be said about creating a rhythm by just taking your time. You need to do that when fourth quarter comes.
5 seconds to go here. Liggins has to get rid of it. Outside, Liggins for three. And that's off the front of the iron, no good. And we take it to the fourth quarter. You're watching IPSathletics.tv, powered by Indiana SRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
We'd like to hear from you on Twitter. Just follow us at Indiana SRN today and for a shout out. And we also thank you for watching. Again, follow us on Twitter at Indiana SRN. With Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling. We have 1 quarter of play left to go here inside of the old Indianapolis Howe High School, where Purdue Poly Inglewood calls home as they face in-city rival Indianapolis, Washington. The Continentals looking to try and get to 500 on the season, but they're down by 8 points here with 8 minutes left to go.
Got to be more patient. The zone dictates that you could take the outside shot, move the ball around.
Liggins gets shut down along the baseline. Jackson can't handle it. He's double-teamed, has to get rid of it, and loses it. And turnover to Hobbs, but right back to Donovan Johnson. And the turnovers keep mounting up for both teams, as you see right here. Jackson comes in transition. He loses the handle, and now it's back to Primus. And Primus, his pass, trying to find Broadley. It's a jump ball.
Don't know if that was quite a jump ball. It looked like a little more contact.
Either way, that's the call on the court, and it favors the Techies. And again, just the same MO, turnover after turnover, as Broadley with an easy lay-in right off the inbound. Broadley now has 11 points, well off of his average so far. And a turnover off of the inbound there from Washington. And instead we get a foul coming up on Purdue Poly.
The officials are on their game. I will say that. They have been relatively tight all around, but they haven't really missed any calls that they wanted to make. Or that they say, they didn't correct themselves at all, you know?
Correction, the foul is on Erie Hickenbottom for Washington. Boyd loads up a long three, in fact, too long, and it's into the hands of Washington. In stride here is Hickenbottom. He lays it in.
Nice, strong effort to go to the basket there. He had the extra pass if he wanted to take it, but he knew that he could just get up.
49-43, a 7-point ball game, rather a 6-point ball game. Ganeshalal with the finger roll down the lane.
He has been excellent tonight. He's tied his season high with 14 points. He's been smooth.
Johnson hits it up top to Hickenbottom. Jackson with a turnaround jumper from the elbow. Nothing there. And the rebound to Hobbs. Into the corner. Primus has a wide open three. Can't connect. Back in transition again comes Johnson. His teardrop doesn't fall. Ganeshalal with the rebound. Another quick possession in stride. Boyd pulls up from the elbow.
Boy, nice possession by Purdue Poly. These cross-court passes, down-the-court passes are working out for both teams.
Hickenbottom can't get that three ball to fall. In fact, he doesn't even touch rim. And now Hobbs is going to slow it up a little bit here as we now tick down to the 5.5-minute mark. And another turnover and foul, with Broadley getting a little handsy there on Hickenbottom in stride. And now you have Broadley picking up his second. But now if you're Purdue Poly here, you have a 10-point advantage, and yet you still have a team that seems to be playing with the gas pedal to the floor here. You have a 10-point advantage. If anything, you probably want to start slowing it down and maybe winding some clock.
Yeah, they're so used to, I think, going in transition. They have to find a way to slow it down, start running the offense just as George Washington is here.
Washington has not led since early in the first quarter. Up top, Johnson loads up a three, and he hits it.
Okay.
Second three-pointer of the night for Donovan Johnson. A full timeout taken, and we'll take one with them. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
Bertner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.indianasrn.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
Seven-point advantage for Purdue Poly here at Thomas Carr Howe High School, the old Thomas Carr Howe High School, here on the east side of Indianapolis, now the home of Purdue Poly Inglewood, as the Techies get fouled on the inbound there. That's Boyd. So now they will bring it back to the other side, and it will be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Lawrence Boyd. Give that foul to Donovan Johnson for Washington, his first, and the team's 7th.
Johnson with 10 points in the contest.
Boyd knocks down the free throw. He now has 6 points to his credit. And the scoring has really been spread out by both teams, in spite of the fact that it's just been very clunky offense on each side. And Boyd unable to earn himself another point on the back end. Hickenbottom along the baseline, and they're going to say he was fouled there by Tyron Bradley. That's now 4 on Bradley. But still, Purdue Poly has a few fouls to give here, as there's a block on the shot there by Boyd, and Bradley comes screaming down the court, bounces it to Primus. He loses the handle. It's a jump ball call, and the arrow favors George Washington. And now if you're GW, you really have to take advantage of these opportunities when you get them now with time at a premium.
Yeah, only a couple possession game, really. Just get a couple threes down there. Ideally, probably some twos because they haven't shot as well as they'd hoped. So we'll see.
Jackson, a corner three, barely gets there but just does not fall.
Jackson being the best shooter in this game statistically. I feel like they have to get him the ball if they want to have a chance at the three.
Ganesh Shalal, no look pass to Boyd, who loads up a long one from the corner. That doesn't get there. Johnson lays it up, lays it in, and kind of a smart play there by Bradley not to try and pick up his 5th.
Johnson's had a great half now with his 12th point.
That now cuts it. No look pass down low to Kevin Broadley.
It's crazy because we've seen a ton of turnovers, right? Then we've seen flashes of brilliance as far as passing the ball goes. These guys have it in them, each squad.
Jackson, teardrop along the baseline.
And he's got 11.
Quick pass in transition, Boyd. Just when you think you go down here to mark on your score sheet here, Joey, you look up and the ball's on the other end of the court. Both teams just playing really quick, as once again, Hampton unable to connect on a long 3 ball, but Jackson tries to clean things up. It's blocked out of bounds by Broadley.
Jackson had all sorts of options to go to that he probably should have instead of driving to the hoop, but especially when there's 3 minutes to go. These are key baskets late in the game.
Davion Reynolds back into the ball game for the first time this half. He had some minutes earlier in the first half. It's an 8-point advantage for the Techies. Johnson connects on another big 3. Johnson now has 2 3-pointers in this quarter, 3 this half. And a timeout is called by GW. A full timeout. We'll take one with them back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
in the middle of a timeout here between Purdue Poly Inglewood and GW. You see Aaron Hogg coaching his team right there. What are you telling your team right now as you have a 5-point deficit still to surmount with a little over 3 minutes to go?
Right now, if I was him, I'd be trying to set up a play to get Donovan Johnson the ball. 10 points in this quarter, 15 all told today so far. He's been shooting the ball great in this half.
And Washington playing some full court press.
Oh, don't pick up the dribble.
As Ganesh Shalal did just that, having to get rid of it, but back in transition behind the back pass, trying to find Reynolds, and it gets tipped out of bounds.
He's pretty good at that. He's got some nice sleight of hand there to get the ball to his guys. We've seen like 3 no-look passes in this quarter alone.
This is a Purdue team that seems very comfortable passing the ball willy-nilly at however they want to do it, as Reynolds gets an easy lay-in off the inbound.
Yeah, he needed that as well. He hasn't scored since the first half, and he's a key player for them. A lot of good baskets down low.
Liggins is fouled, and they would have counted the shot had it fallen, but instead he's going to go to the line for 2. Now, Liggins is one of these players who has a lot of size for Washington. In fact, he's standing at a 6'6" lanky senior, but has been mostly held in check for most of the night as he misses the front end. And of course, you've seen that matchup tonight between Broadley and Liggins. They've really done a number on each other. You even see Ganesh Shalal match up a little bit on him.
Hard player to defend. A lot of length, and when you have length is probably the biggest advantage, just matchup-wise in basketball, getting over people.
Boyd, long pass, just having to grab it there is Reynolds, and again back to Boyd, kicking it back outside.
I love this ball movement right now.
Purdue playing some glorified keep away here as they're trying to run a little bit of clock. Spin move by Broadley, and he's fouled in the lane.
Yeah, I love the ball movement. Each of them decided that they were going to pass, but they faked the shot first or faked another pass, whichever way. The cross-court passes are risky, but they usually pay off. And right now, Purdue Poly in control in these last few minutes.
Kevin Broadley knocks down the front end. That is now the first free throw that he has been able to make since he converted an old-fashioned three-point opportunity early in the first quarter. Since then, he had gone 0 for 4. And he goes 2 for 2 this trip. 6 points in this quarter alone by Kevin Broadley. And now a whistle. Foul coming up on Purdue. I'm going to get Lawrence Boyd with the foul there. And that is team foul number 7 for the Techies, so a 1-and-1 opportunity for Erie Hickenbottom. And if you're head coach Aaron Hogg, now is a time that you want your players to make free throws, and Hickenbottom unable to get it there. Broadley in stride, gets the shot to fall and draws the foul, and he's amped up.
As he should be. That's a key bucket right now. Now you extended your lead to 10, could be 11. Good job.
Let's take a look at this again. They just hit him in stride and just splits the defenders. And you mentioned it right there, because Washington, they have not led since early in this contest. Offensive rebound by Reynolds outside to Ganesh Shalal, who gets his pocket picked briefly. Loose ball on the ground. Primus comes up with it. It's a kick ball, and it will stay on this end of the court. But as mentioned there, though, Washington, they've been able to just barely stick around here to at least make things a little uncomfortable for Purdue as you get a foul on the inbound.
And 1-on-1 opportunity here now for Reynolds. I think there was a hold somewhere in there.
9th foul now for Washington, one more, and Purdue will be shooting 2 free throws as we are now inside 2 minutes remaining in this contest. Reynolds, the bank is open for him. He earns another one. Reynolds has a quiet 5 points in this contest off the bench for the Techies. Rimming in and out the second one. $11-point advantage.
Oh,
and
needed that.
Unable to make it a 9-point advantage is Liggins. Reynolds with some stingy defense being played by Hickenbottom. Ganeshalal saves the day for him. Boyd loses the ball. It passes it right into the hands of Hickenbottom. He lays it up. Can't get that to go. Along the baseline, he does not step out of bounds. And there's going to be a foul coming up on Diavion Reynolds. And that will send Jackson to the line.
That was a nice little toe touch in bounds to keep it alive and then pass it back in by Hickenbottom. Wow. And now you at least got your guys another opportunity to score and send Jackson to the line.
So Davion Reynolds picks up a foul there. That's going to be his first foul of the night, as we now have 2 shots coming here for Jackson. He misses the front end. .90 seconds left to go here. Purdue Polytechnic, they're going to be getting right back into the conference action rather in 3 days' time. They go on the road to Crystal House Academy right here in Indianapolis. Meanwhile, GW, they're going to be playing Indianapolis Shortridge also here in Indianapolis. They're going to be on the road as well, just right down the street here in downtown Indy, as Jackson misses both free throws. Foul right on the rebound attempt, though, and that will put Purdue Polytechnic right here on the other side for a 1-and-1. Make that a 2-shot foul. Reynolds was 1 for 2 at the foul stripe the last time out. And doinking it off the back of the iron, no good there for Reynolds. And again, Reynolds cannot convert. Long ball from Hampton. He gets it to go again. That's the second time he's been able to do that tonight. And a timeout called by GW. And it's going to be a full timeout taken by GW. We'll take a break with them. Back in a minute on Indiana SRN.
More fixing, more finding, more being original. Unique like this, trendy like that. More designing this, arranging that. More saving, and then more making it happen. More of your space looking like this, and more of you feeling like that. More excitement, more savings, more furniture, more rugs, more flooring, more affordable luxury from RG Decor.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the Indiana SRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Foul on the inbound on the other end of the floor during the commercial break, so we now have Purdue Poly on the other side. It's going to be Primus shooting 2 free throws here. With Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling. Purdue just trying to close this game out now down the stretch. As Primus connects on the first of 2, he now has 6 points. Primus unable to convert the back end. GW with no time to waste here. Hickenbottom all the way back outside to Jackson. 1 minute to go. And the three-pointer goes a little long there for balance. and Reynolds will be fouled on this end of the floor.
And it was great ball movement. I thought Donovan Johnson was going to take it at the wing spot, take the three. Didn't end up doing it, went another pass. Good look. Didn't fall for him.
So if things hold true right here, this will be the first win in the series between these two teams, which, believe it or not, started just this year when Washington beat them in the Greater Indianapolis Conference Tournament back in early December. That was a 77-62 win for GW in that contest. So now you have Purdue Poly going to be splitting the senior series this season, if things hold true, as we say. And this is also a Purdue Poly team that unfortunately this year is not eligible for the postseason. As you see Balance go right to the rim there, Ganeshalal is fouled before he gets the pass off.
I love how hard both these teams are playing. One to keep the lead and eventually win the game, and the other to try to get back into it.
And so you have Purdue Poly, like we said, uneligible for the postseason. Of course, according to AD Josh Bowling there at Purdue Poly, they are in talks with the IHSAA to become sectional eligible, hopefully trying to get that effort going by next year. Meanwhile, Washington, they're going to be facing up with teams such as Beech Grove, Indianapolis Heron, Indian Creek, Cardinal Ritter Speedway, and Beech Grove as well in the sectional 28 coming up later on. They're going to try and get into a good position for the postseason as Ganeshalal hits both free throws.
New season high for Ganeshalal, 16 points. Good for him.
And Ganeshalal just waits to be fouled there under the basket as Hickenbottom picks up his second. And so here you go with George Washington likely to fall now to 4-6 on the season. They had previously won 2 straight against Traders Point and Horizon Christian before falling to Ben Davis just a few days ago. This will be their second loss in a row. Meanwhile, Purdue Poly, they're going to be taking their 4th win in a row as Ganeshalal knocks down another free throw. And they'll be taking a pretty solid win streak into Crystal House Academy here in 3 days' time. And right down the other end, you see Jackson.
Jackson, 13 points on the night.
And now GW content to let Purdue Poly just pass this out and let the clock run. As we tick inside 10. Oh, and Broadley, they're going to not count that shot. In fact, they're going to get an offensive foul on Broadley. Not exactly what you like to see here at this juncture of the game. You got the win done.
Yeah, you might as well just finish. I think he got excited, wanted to get maybe another point, had the stats a little bit. But the ref's going to call that, I think, every time if you back down a defender with 5 seconds to go. But it does not affect the outcome of the game.
So you put Donovan Johnson here at the line for gimme free throws. Not likely to have anything to do with the outcome here, as Purdue Poly nonetheless will take their 10th win of the season, the first time in school history that they will have won 10 games. And this is a school that is just still in its infancy, started a few years ago on the 4th floor of Circle Center Mall, believe it or not.
Crazy. This squad, too, they're senior heavy, so they definitely wish they had a chance at the tournament this year, but definitely bright things in the future of Purdue Poly Englewood.
Final score, a 10-point win for the Purdue Poly Techies. They win 71-61 over George Washington High School. Well, it was an up-and-down, clunky game, but nonetheless a solid win here for Purdue Poly.
Purdue Poly's got to take this and run with it for the rest of the season, man. They have they have all the talent in the world to have made a deep run should they, if they were able to go to the sectionals. But I feel like they have a strong core of good passers and strong finishers. On George Washington's side as well, a good squad, a lot of great players, a lot of good shooters. Just didn't happen for them tonight, but they got to keep their heads up. They got a whole long season ahead.
Indeed they do. Joey, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
As always, Kurt, you too.
Definitely. For all of us here at Indiana SRN, for Joey Lindstrom, I'm Kurt Darling, saying so long till next time. Once again, final score, Purdue Poly beats George Washington 71-61. You've been watching IPSathletics.tv, powered by Indiana SRN. So long, everybody.